I let my roommate think I couldn't cook for 8 months, and it completely backfired. I moved in with Ashley last September. Within the first week, she'd established herself as the kitchen person. She made these elaborate dinners, she reorganized the spice cabinet, she printed a little meal plan calendar and stuck it to the fridge. I'm not exaggerating, she color-coded it by protein group. She seemed to genuinely love cooking, and I didn't want to compete with that energy, so I just sort of let her think I couldn't do it. It started small. She offered to show me how to make pasta, and I said, I always mess it up honestly, which was a lie. She made extra portions for me twice a week, and I'd sit at the counter and watch her cook and ask basic questions like I was genuinely learning. So you just leave it on medium the whole time? That kind of thing. She loved it. She started buying ingredients specifically for me, easy stuff she could walk me through. I started saying things like, I don't really know what to do with chicken, and I'm scared of the oven, and I've never understood what sautéing actually means. All lies. I grew up cooking with my mom every single weekend. I make a really good jerk chicken. I've made croissants from scratch. Multiple times. I once spent an entire Saturday making beef Wellington just to see if I could. But Ashley was so happy to be the kitchen expert that I just kept going with it. She'd come home and find me eating cereal at 9 p.m. and shake her head and say, Jess, we genuinely need to get you some basic life skills, and I'd nod very seriously and say, I know. She told her friends about me. She described me as someone who couldn't boil water at a dinner party I was sitting at. I smiled and said nothing. This went on for 8 months. The thing that ended it was her boyfriend Tyler coming over in April. He wanted to make a birthday dinner for Ashley since she was turning 26 and asked if anyone wanted to help. I volunteered because I'd been feeling genuinely guilty about the whole thing for a while by that point. I figured I'd play dumb, chop some things badly, let him lead, contribute just enough to feel like I'd done something good. Except Tyler is a genuinely terrible cook. Not in a charming, clumsy way. In a worrying way. He was dumping salt into the sauce without tasting it first. He'd already burnt the garlic and just left it in the pan. The chicken had been in the oven at the wrong temperature for 20 minutes, and he was about to add another 30. I stood there for probably 90 seconds trying to let it go, and I just couldn't. I took over without really deciding to. I pulled the chicken, fixed the temperature, started the sauce from scratch, got Tyler chopping vegetables just to give him something to do. I made roasted chicken, 2 sides, and a pan sauce. It took me about 45 minutes total. I was plating it when Ashley walked into the kitchen. She stood in the doorway and didn't say anything. She looked at the food. She looked at me. She looked at Tyler, who shrugged and goes, yeah, she just kind of took over about an hour ago. Ashley sat down at the table and was quiet for most of dinner. She complimented the food once, very neutrally, like she was leaving a review. Then after Tyler went to wash up, she looked at me and goes, very calmly, how long have you actually been able to cook? I said, a while. She goes, how long is a while? I said, since I was like 9. She put her fork down. She didn't yell. She just said, you sat there and let me feel sorry for you for 8 months, and that was somehow so much worse than yelling would have been. We're fine now. She made me take over all cooking for a full month as payback, which was completely fair. I'm not complaining. I do Tuesdays and Thursdays permanently now. She still does the meal plan calendar, still color-coded. She told everyone at her birthday party 2 weeks later. 6 different people came up to me that night and said, so you're the cereal girl. My mom heard about it eventually. I don't know how. I have not asked and I will not be asking.